Hello everyone. There is information or the circular sent from the Council CISC regarding reduced ICSE syllabus for 2021. So we have a new syllabus. I'm just going to tell you briefly about that. It is information on reduced ICSE syllabus. Those of you who are writing in the year 2021. So it's quite good news in a way because there are less chapters to be studied now. So we have in the first one chapter, it is combined actually all this force, work energy, and you have power. So this is actually three chapters which are clubbed together, and in this there is a simple machine also that is included. In the first chapter, if you look at your textbook, in the chapter force, you have only two topics that you have to learn. That is, number one is moment of force, which we have already finished. That is a turning torque or the turning effect of a force. Then you have uniform circular motion. For your easy reference, I'm just going to mention this. This moment of force is in page number 2, and you have to look at that unit 1.2. There will be simple numericals also and some simple definitions on moment of force. Then uniform circular motion, which we have done, it is in page number 16 and unit is 1.7. So this is from the first chapter, only these two topics are taken out. Then you have work, energy and power. There you have to learn almost everything, the numericals and all that. Then you have machines. In the machines you have got the functions. In the machines you have got the functions of a machines and the uses. Functions and uses of simple machine. Okay, then you have got the pulley. Okay, pulley also we have in the last classes we have almost discussed the types of the pulleys. Okay, the diagrams, and you have this combination of the pulleys, etc. Then last one is the conservation of energy. Okay, conservation of energy. So this is also a very simple topic, conservation of energy. So now this will be your first unit. In this first unit you have got three chapters that are clubbed together: force, work, energy, power, and the simple machine. Now I'm going to start today the next chapter that will be directly the sound. Okay, in between whatever chapters are there, it is not going to come in the exam. So we are going to have the second one is sound. Sorry, the second one is light. Light is also there. In the light you have to do refraction of light, etc., the lenses. But I am going to start today sound. In the sound, if you look at the sound, okay, it is in chapter 7 in a textbook, and it is in page number 146. Okay, now in the sound you have got only two topics to discuss. The first one, actually there are three topics to be discussed. The first one is the reflection of sound, which is very important and easy. And in that you have got this echo also. And in the second sound topic you have got vibrations you have got three types of vibrations that we are going to discuss: the natural vibrations, damped vibration, and forced vibration. Then in the third, you are going to study the characteristics of sound. Now all these topics are not the new topic for you. You have already done in your previous classes. Like for example, you have done it in class 7, class 8, class 9 as well. So in the characteristic of sound, you have got three characteristics, which is called loudness, pitch, and the quality of sound. Now I'm going to discuss reflection of sound briefly today. Now in the reflection of sound, what happens is the sound, we all know, travels in the form of waves, either in longitudinal or in the transverse waves. Now the sound is traveling and it strikes a obstacle. Okay, the obstacles can be anything. It can be a wall like this, or a board. It can be a, what do you call, anything, metal sheet, okay, or a hill, and the sound is traveling like this, and it will strike and it will return back into the same medium. So that is called the reflection of sound. So I'm going to just repeat now what is the reflection of sound. The return of a sound wave on striking any obstacles, any surface, back into the same medium is called the reflection of sound. Now there are two notes or points to keep in mind. The first one is the sound gets reflected from any surface, whether the surface is smooth, shiny like a mirror, or it is rough surface and it is uneven. Okay, so the first point is the sound waves get reflected from any surface. The sound waves get reflected from any surface. The second note that you have to keep in mind is the size of the reflecting surface must be bigger than the wavelength of the sound wave. Now, for the sound to return or to reflect, the size of the reflecting surface must be greater than the wavelength of the sound waves. So let us write down that the size of the reflecting surface must be bigger than the wavelength of sound waves. So these are the two criteria you have to keep in mind for the reflection of sound. It is a very, very simple phenomenon. Let us take this is any obstacle or any surface. Now this surface can be either it can be plain or smooth, or it can be rough, and this is a ray of light. It is coming in the form of ray, the ray of light, or the ray of wave of sound. It is not light, wave of sound. Okay, suppose I am showing it in the form of straight line, but it is actually a wave of sound, and the sound hits the obstacle and it gets returned. It returns back in the same medium. But this is not a light. Keep in mind, this is a sound. I'm just giving you an example. Now, from the reflection of sound, we come to another topic which you are very much familiar with. That is called echo or echo. Okay, many must have experienced this echo yourself when you have gone to some kind of top of the mountain hill, and you have shout some words, and after a few seconds you hear the sound back. Okay, the same sound which you have uttered from anywhere from the top of a hill, and after a few while the same sound comes back. So that is the echo. So echo is nothing but it is a reflection of sound. So the sound heard after reflection from a distant obstacle. Okay, when the original sound has ceased, that is called an echo. Like for example, right now I am making a sound. I say any word, like I am saying echo. So that word echo is the original sound. And if this word echo comes back, then it becomes the, if the word echo comes back, then it becomes the reflection of sound, which is echo. Alright, so now I'm going to repeat this again one more time. The sound heard after reflection from a obstacle, any kind of obstacle. It can be a hillside, it can be a cliff, it can be a wall, anything. When the original sound has ceased or stopped, that is called an echo. So let me show you with a simple diagram. Let us say this is the source of sound. You produce the sound from here, and for the sound to be produced you always need a vibrating body. The body has to be vibrated and it has to travel in a medium, and there should be a receiver, then only the sound is produced. Then on this side you have one obstacle. Let us say I make a hill or a mountain top like this. This is the obstacle. Okay, a sound is uttered from here, any sound. So this is your original sound. Now this original sound is traveling in a medium. In this case the medium is air, and it is traveling there and it strikes this obstacle, and this original sound will cease, it will stop. Then you have another sound which will return back and it is heard by this source. So that is called the echo. Alright, now you have conditions for an echo. Conditions for an echo. Now what are the conditions for an echo? There are two conditions basically. The first condition is that when the original sound dies out and another sound is heard. When the original sound dies out and another sound is heard, that is echo. And if the time taken is like minimum for after 0.1 seconds, if the another sound is heard after 0.1 seconds, okay, that means this original sound, when it is produced from a source, it will persist in the medium for at least 0.1 second. That means 1/10 of a second. It will remain there for 1/10 of a second. After 1/10 of a second, it will cease. The sound, that original sound will not be produced, and after that, whatever sound comes, that is the echo. So that is the first condition. That means the sound, reflected sound, should come at least after 0.1 seconds. And the second condition is the minimum distance between the source of sound and any obstacle for the echo to be produced. The minimum distance, that should be 17 meter, 17. Now this we can find out because we have got one a formula for this echo also. From there we can find the distance between the source and the obstacle. Okay, so now I'm going to derive that. Okay, let us not rub this. We have a source of sound here. The sound is produced. Let us say D is the distance between the source of sound and any obstacle, then let us say capital V is the speed of sound at which it is traveling in the medium, and let us say small t. T is the time taken for the sound to reach here, or what you call obstacle, and it comes back. So now from the formula of the speed, distance and time, we know that time is equals to total distance traveled upon the speed of sound. Total distance traveled upon speed of sound. Now, what is the total distance traveled by the sound here? The sound is starting from here, it goes and it hits the obstacle. What is the distance traveled from here to here? Small d. And again, the sound after striking this obstacle, it comes back to the source. So it has traveled 2 times. So it will be 2 into d. And the speed of the sound, the speed at which the sound is traveling is by v. So it will be given by capital V. Therefore, this is the formula that you will be using, in order to solve some simple numericals from echo. Or from here, we have V equals to 2D by T. Or from here, you can also find the distance is V into T by 2. Okay, in the next class we will be doing some of the numericals from this chapter sound. So I think most of you have got it. Basically here I was trying to discuss that reduced syllabus. So I have started sound, and after the sound you have got this electricity and magnetism, then you have got heat and modal physics. Altogether there will be only 6 units or chapters to be discussed. Thank you very much.